Okay, speichern. Ach, ist schon cool. Es fühlt sich irgendwie richtig nostalgisch gerade an, das zu spielen. Haben wir das nicht im Winter gespielt? Kann das sein? Ich habe irgendwie die ganze Zeit so ein bisschen Erinnerung, dass es kalt war, während wir das gespielt haben. Aber vielleicht irre ich mich auch. Ich habe irgendwie so ein Wintergefühl. Aber ich glaube, der erste Teil hat am Schluss auch im Winter gespielt. Vielleicht liegt es auch daran. Ja, Ortoko. Okay, 11:43 Uhr. Also 1 Stunde 43 Minuten hat das jetzt aber nicht gebraucht. Na gut. Amnesia? Ach, jetzt hat er es ja endlich mal gesagt.
I can't believe my lawyer's trying to defend me in such a state. Why didn't you tell me, sir?
I'm sorry I didn't mention it to you.
Oh, I know what to do. I heard you can fix something like this with a really strong shock to your system. So allow me to take out my taser and...
Oh Gott, nein.
Come on, lower your head a little. A Maggie kick should be all you need.
No. I think I'll pass on this one.
Come on. I'm sorry. Whenever I see someone in trouble, I have a hard time leaving them alone. I tend to stick my nose where it doesn't belong and try to tackle everyone's problems.
Well, my head is one problem you won't be tackling today. Schön gesagt. Well, we're here to solve your problem first. We can deal with mine later. For now, do you think you can fill me in on a few things? Dass sie sich nicht fast irgendwie den Kopf zertrümmern, so heftig wie die sich da immer selber salutiert.
Of course, I'd be honored to. Well, I guess we'll start with my name and then I can tell you about me.
No, that's okay, really. I think I know you and your name pretty well by now. I was wondering if you could help me figure out a few things about myself. So my name is Phoenix Wright. What a weird name.
This is serious. You really don't remember. I'll tell you what, sir. You can have this back and maybe it'll help.
This is a business card?
I got this from you. It's my most prized possession. You can borrow it for now, but please give it back, okay?
Voll das Fangirl. Okay, there are some numbers written on the back.
Oh, that's your cell phone number?
Phoenix's business card added to the call record. It's my business card. I hand-wrote my cell phone number on the back. I guess for now we should stop talking about me. And start talking about this case.
This case?
Yep. Can you think of anything that will be helpful for me to know? Sie ist ja auch wieder fest. Das ist aber sehr, sehr einfühlsam, muss schon sagen.
What can I tell you? I can't think of anything other than the incident with that cell phone, but...
Cell phone?
Yeah, your eyes lit up when we talked about it at the detention center, sir.
Und dann fällt dir nicht vielleicht mal ein, nachdem du erfährst, dass ich Amnesie habe, das nochmal zu erwähnen. Hurry up and tell me. This might be very important.
Okay, Roger. It was on the day of the crime, just before 6 p.m.
Moment mal. Wann ist er gestorben? 6:28 Uhr, okay. Also war das noch bevor, wie hieß er? Dustin, ne? Dustin Prince. Okay, 28 Minuten bevor Dustin, oder ein bisschen mehr als 28, ich sagte ja kurz vor 6. So circa eine halbe Stunde bevor Dustin gestorben ist.
I picked up a lost cell phone while on a walk with Dustin.
Aha. Das ist doch das, was wir im Moment haben, oder?
All of a sudden the phone began to ring. Hello?
Oh, thank you. I've been searching for my phone.
Is this yours? Oh, I'm glad you called. We can meet up and I can give this back.
I'll be right there. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name.
You can call me Maggie.
Sonoichi Higaishi, was für ein Ding?
We agreed to meet up at 6 p.m. Dustin and I waited for the person to show up, but they never did.
So where is the phone you found now?
I gave it to you yesterday.
Huh? To me? Is it that phone in my pocket? You mean this?
Do you think it has anything to do with the murder?
I don't really know, but if my eyes lit up...
You were here all along.
Was denn jetzt los? Was macht die denn hier?
You're so mean. I called you a million times, but you wouldn't pick up. And when I went to check in the courtroom, everyone had already left.
Now, who in the heck is that? Toll. Nach so langer Zeit endlich unser Wiedersehen mit Maya und Phoenix weiß nicht mal, wer sie ist. Let me guess, I'm supposed to know this girl too.
Hey, good morning, Maggie. And a good morning to you too, Maya. So, how's it going? Is there a word for worse than abysmal? Oh, and what if I said that everything will be fine? That's right, it's Maya to the rescue with the ultra-decisive, super important evidence. Here you are, Nick, the thing you wanted me to bring.
Thanks. What the heck is this? A list? It has about 20 people's names and phone numbers written on it.
It was kind of tough, but I managed to dig up some dirt. Looks like these guys are up to no good.
No good? As in?
There's a group of con artists the police are currently investigating. I think these guys are members of that group.
Names list. A list of unfamiliar names and phone numbers. Members of a con artists group? Why would a group of con artists pop up in a case like this?
Don't look at me.
And where did you get this list from in the first place?
What? Don't you remember, Nick? You're the one who asked me to look this up yesterday.
Is that right?
These numbers were in the memory of that phone Maggie found.
Aha. The plot thickens. Huch, wieso habe ich auf einmal 10 Zuschauer? Cool. Warum nicht? So that's where they're from.
You're awfully forgetful these days, Nick. I hope I never get to be a forgetful old prune like you. Maya, actually, Mr. Wright is...
Mr. Wright, recess is now over. Please bring the defendant and return to the courtroom immediately.
Oh, oops, guess you have to get going. We can talk about you being old later.
Dankeschön.
Wish us luck.
I guess I have all the pieces now, more or less. All that's left is to put it all together. I'm not going to lose this. I can't.
Come on, Nick. Better get a move on.
Ja. Dann wollen wir mal. 11:54 Uhr. Courtroom number 2.
Court will now reconvene. Please call your next witness to the stand, Mr. Brain.
Yes, Your Honor. But before I do, if I may say a few words.
What is it, Mr. Brain?
It's about the next witness. He has a tendency to say things that rub people the wrong way, you see. So I asked that the court might be a little lenient on...
Nein? There's no need to give a preface. Just hurry up and call your witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution calls its next witness a drifter who was taking a walk in the park on the day of the murder.
No, Nagito. Aha.
Please state your name for the court witness.
Before I do, I'd like to clarify a little something.
Huh? Oh, alright, go ahead.
Just now, you introduced my wonderful self to the court, correct? Perhaps as a drifter who was taking a walk.
Did I?
But I will not stand for that. Now you've tinted the court's eyes and colored me wrongly. Sure, I suppose calling me university to somebody can just settle with me. Everything in my life is to be the utmost highest of good you understand. I'm mainly looking for the perfect image. I'm being university. I'm really selection present with a
Wie bitte was? Ich habe nur die Hälfte verstanden.
Yes, I understand. I'm very sorry. I will be more careful from now on.
What is he? A human chatterbox?
I have to question him. Fashion, cars, women, glasses, and of course university. First race only need apply.
Glasses? But you aren't wearing glasses.
That's enough. Your name, witness. Oh, is that how you want to play this? Using your power and influence to keep the young people down. You see how you work now. You old people and your dirty tricks. You thought you had me, but you thought wrong. I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
Oh man.
I'll forgive you. Alright, I suppose I can tell you the name. I am Richard Wellington, the drifting virtuoso with a PhD in drifting, as it were. If you wanted to, you could call me university student in transit.
Also wie jemand ganz Bestimmtes, den wir kennen, Christo.
Yeah, Mr. Wellington. On the day of the murder, you were taking a strolling through the park, correct?
It would appear that you are attached to that word. If you must, then by all means. But I remind you that I am in no way a pubescent boy out on a walk with Molly.
Schaut ihr das? Genau.
Anyway, please testify to this call when you saw the when you walked through the park.
See, you said it again, taking a walk. You know, you...
Ich glaube, der Richter hat jetzt die Nase voll.
What you witnessed will do, Mr. Wellington.
Oh yeah.
I was at the park all afternoon, deep in thought about my life situation. I don't remember the time all that well, but I do believe it was past 6 p.m. All of a sudden, a police officer falls from above right in front of my eyes. Without a thought, I looked up and there I met the eyes of a charming young lady. Of course, I remember her sweet face. It was that of the pretty defendant there. The only other thing I saw was the banana that fell with the police officer.
Banane. Er hat den Handschuh für eine Banane gehalten. Was wahrscheinlich bedeutet, dass er eine Brille tragen müsste, normalerweise.
That was certainly a decisive testimony.
Decisive? Nick, did you hear what he just said? Ja, er hat genau das beschrieben, was wahrscheinlich nicht stimmt. Ja.
That's all you have to say? How can you be so calm?
Actually, I don't think calm is the right word right now. Or is it? Oh, offenbar. Doch.
It's strange, my mind is very calm and clear.
Maybe it's because I believe in my client.
You mean Maggie?
Yes, and if she really is innocent, then that can only mean one thing. That guy is lying.
You may now question the witness, Mr. Wright.
I'll find out the truth, no matter how well you craft your lies. Dann wollen wir mal. Ich würde sagen, die Banane ist direkt mal unser Angriffspunkt, oder? Aber ich presse ihn auch mal so ein bisschen auch auf die anderen Sachen hin, weil es ja oft unterhaltsam ist. Vor allem bei so einem verrückten Typen.
Oh, I was at the park all afternoon, deep in thought about my life situation.
Okay. Sind doch vorhin Ah, da, okay. Hab was verlegt. So you were at the park all afternoon. You seem to have a lot of free time?
That was very rude of you, but then again, what can I expect? That's what you get from a man who graduated from a no-name trashy university.
No-name trashy? How would he even know what university I graduated from?
Now, this might be hard for a mush-headed, feeble-minded baboon like you, but I have to think very carefully about the future of our great country.
But I thought you said you were thinking about which college to go to just now.
Oh, please! Which university I go to will directly affect the very future of this country.
That arrogant little snot. Yeah, das trifft's gut.
I don't remember the time all that well, but I believe it was past 6 p.m.
How did you know what time it was? I see you're not wearing a watch, so...
Is that the best you can do? Do you think you can discredit me like that? You're just a third-rate, biased fool. I guess I can't expect real smarts from you.
His arrogance is really intolerable, so what should I do now? Press harder, just because it pisses me off. Answer the question, how did you know what time it was?
I can't believe I have to deal with a worm like you. You're just a shallow man who can only slam on desks and point at people for fun. I guess I don't have a choice. I'll try to explain it so that even a third-rate simpleton like you can understand. There was this little thing they call a clock at the park. Did you get that? Do you know what a clock is? It's a thing that tells you the time.
It's a thing you fucking beat in your face. Hau dich gleich mit einer verkackten Uhr ins Gesicht, du Trödel. Wollte ich sagen.
As you can see, Mr. Wright, it's even in this picture of the crime scene.
Oh, jetzt war es halt. Oh, so it is.
I looked at that clock and that's how I knew the time. But if you ask me, this whole concept of this total utter and through first class business lived by noisy change from a time in the world. Watch out what regulars know. People should live freely without context. That's how it.
And yet again, another flood of meaningless words. Talk about a first-class waste of time.
In any case, all of a sudden, a police officer falls from above right in front of my eyes.
And how did you know he was a police officer?
You obviously have no idea how powerful my deductive reasoning skills are. With one glance eye, you could tell just what kind of occupation he had.
Ja, wahrscheinlich, weil er eine Uniform anhatte.
That shorty do-it-yourself hairstyle person also the tips of such a blue and I suppose also because he was wearing a blue officer's uniform.
Das war jetzt wieder automatisch, das war ich nicht. Shouldn't that statement have come first?
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Hey, Nick, do you think he's figured out what I do?
Even I haven't figured that out yet. You're a cop, right? Falls du darauf anspielen wolltest, Simon. Das gute alte Intro von Resident Evil 2, vom Original, nicht das Remake. Im Remake haben sie dran gedacht, das zu ändern. Aber im Original fragt Claire Leon, "You're a cop, right?" Obwohl er gerade in kompletter Polizeimontur einen Polizeiwagen fährt. Da denke ich jedes Mal, Mann, wie bist du da drauf gekommen?
Anyway, without a thought, I looked up and there I met the eyes of a charming young lady.
Are you sure you got a good look at her face?
Animals have this thing called an eye, Mr. White. They use this eye to see things.
Du kriegst gleich ein blaues Auge. Der kann einem ja echt auf die Nerven gehen.
In the case of humans, we have two of them. Yes, even you.
I don't care if I have them or not. Did you or did you not get a clear look at her face?
That's what the witness was just about to get to. I would like to request that Mr. Wright not use such a loud voice during questioning.
Sustained, Mr. Wright. Please refrain from raising your voice in this court.
Then please don't make me have to raise my voice.
Are you finished? I'd like to continue if that's alright with you.
No.
Of course, I remember her sweet face. It was that of the pretty defendant there.
So you're sure you were not mistaken?
Please, don't confuse your pitiful train wreck of a life with mine.
Ich häng nicht den ganzen Tag im Park ab, ohne was zu tun.
I'm what you call a famous brand name product, while you are only a cheap imitation. There's no way someone as magnificent as myself could have made a mistake.
Of course, of course.
Of course.
Did you notice anything else of interest, witness? The only other thing I saw was the banana that fell with the police officer.
Fick dich. Ich sagte, fick dich. Oh, achso, das geht noch nicht. Upsi. Ouch. Oh, krass, das hat direkt 2 abgezogen. I don't think that one made any points with the judge. Ich habe den Text jetzt mal übersprungen, weil das immer dasselbe ist. Gut, dann muss ich wohl erst Press machen. Ich hätte gedacht, ich kann jetzt direkt schon das... Da habe ich einen Schritt zu weit gedacht. The banana?
Well, it was actually more than just one, more like a bunch of bananas.
Now, what would a bunch of bananas be doing there?
And why would I know such a thing? I'm only telling you what I saw.
That's really strange. Maggie never mentioned anything about a bunch of bananas. That's it, Nick. He's gonna be lying about the bananas.
He could be, but there's no reason for him to lie about there being bananas at the crime scene. And what if it's not a lie?
Well, maybe he thought he was seeing one thing and it was something else.
If he mistook something else for a bunch of bananas, then that would be an inaccuracy. Think, Phoenix, think. If my client is innocent, there is no way he could have seen what he says he did.
Which means if we can somehow show he's lying.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need to do. She's right. She's got a sharp mind, but I just wish I could remember who the hell she is.
Is everything okay, Nick?
Ja, und jetzt muss ich jetzt die Banane präsentieren, oder was? Okay. Ein bisschen doof. Ich dachte, ich könnte die direkt präsentieren, aber gut. Genau, ich komme nicht drauf, es könnte es nur sein. Mr. Wellington, I believe I have the bananas you saw right here.
Oh, so you knew about the bananas too. Why didn't you say so earlier?
Toll, jetzt hat er auch noch gleich bewiesen, dass er Scheiße sehen kann.
But don't think you can use this as a way to pull more information out of me.
Actually, and that's where you'd be wrong.
Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
Isn't that the baseball glove?
What? A baseball glove?
Doesn't it look delicious? Careful, careful, Bride.
That's not... It's a... No!
Your Honor, I think this proves one very important fact. This witness loves bananas. Genau. Knows nothing about it. Has bad eyesight. Was dann bedeutet, dass seine Aussage, er hätte ganz eindeutig die Bird als Täterin gesehen, natürlich zunichte machen würde. By the way, just how bad are your eyes?
Why are you asking me about this all of a sudden?
Oh, bitte nimm eins, sorry. Nächstes Mal.
Your Honor, it is very simple to mistake a glove for a bunch of bananas.
Nee.
No, I don't think so. Objection overruled.
You're one of those people, yes.
You know what I mean. You like those people who refuse to accept Galileo for you to use your own features. So in the end we found out that it's in fact a glove, not bananas. However, when you from afar, do you think there's room enough for doubt, you know?
And that is why I asked you how bad your eyesight is.
They're both 2200. I suppose you're going to tell me that's terrible, right? Why you're not wearing your glasses today, then? That's because I lost them recently, you see. Of course, I was planning on getting a new pair made right away. But you know, my glasses are no ordinary glasses, so to replace them...
How about when you witnessed the crime? Were you wearing your glasses then?
How about a witness? You are an unrelenting evil man. You're like those people who protected Joan of Arc. She was brave and courage only to become a hermit, and when she didn't do anything wrong, she was still burned at the...
Which boils down to you were not wearing your glasses at that time, right? Therefore, the identity of the woman at the scene of the crime and that of the defendant cannot be proven to be the same by this witness.
But the height difference was only 9 feet. It was very possible for him to see the face of the culprit standing on the upper path.
Witness, please be more accurate in your testimony. Remember, a person's life is at stake. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, please continue with your testimony.
Please tell the court what happened next, in the moments after you witnessed the crime.
Okay.
The girl on the upper path ran away as soon as she realized I was there.
Ich glaube, ich habe gerade eine kleine Fliege verschluckt. Uah. Ja. Genau das Richtige. Schöner Einbiss.
After that, I immediately called the police station to report the crime. It must have been 6:45 p.m. when I made the call.
Das ist aber ganz schön lange, oder? Ich meine, wann war der gestorben? 6:28 Uhr. Also ich war ziemlich Zeit gelassen.
They must have a lot of free time on their hands since they showed up within 10 minutes.
Musst du gerade sagen. Du hast ja noch viel mehr länger gebraucht, um überhaupt mal den Anruf zu machen.
So the person who was on the upper path saw you and then ran away. Yes, that is correct. Which is why even someone without a superior brain like mine can understand that. That girl is the murderer. You may question the witness now, Mr. Wright.
What happened next?
Right away as soon as you realized I was there.
She ran away, just like that.
Yes, she did. She saw me and flew the nest like the guilty bird she is. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that pun too hard for someone who only got a third-rate education?
Actually, that did take me a few seconds to get. Anyway, if she ran away at the instant she saw you, how could you tell it was my client?
The witness has already answered the question. He has stated that the defendant is the culprit.
This is true, Mr. Wright. I'm striking your question from the record.
How can I get more information out of him?
After that, I immediately called the police station to report the crime.
Immediately? As in?
As in immediately, I mean, sure, a minute might have just lapsed before I did, but that's the duty of every good citizen, or did they not teach that at your pitiful school?
Fuck you, you are. You think people learn about how to call the police at college? Hey Nick, I think you should take a look at the court record for a sec. Ja, ist mir schon aufgefallen. Der Tod war um 6:28 Uhr und das heißt, er hat viel später angerufen. Und nicht immediately. Kann ich da direkt hin? Immediately, okay, da steht's. Haha. Mr. Wellington, would you please take a look at this?
You mean the victim's autopsy report?
According to this, the murder occurred at 6:28 p.m.
So what of it?
You said that you called the police immediately after the murder took place. However, by the time you had called the police, it was already 6:45 p.m. There's clearly a 15-minute gap here. Do you deny it? I think this court would like to hear what you were doing during this 15-minute gap. Vor allem, weil er sich gerade noch beschwert hat, dass die Polizei ganze 10 Minuten gebraucht hat, um da hinzukommen. Immediately after I made a few selfies with the corpse. Ja, genau.
The witness was in shock at the time after witnessing the terrible murder. It's only to be expected that he would be a little dazed.
I'm not buying it. 15 minutes is hardly what I would call a little dazed.
Mr. Wellington. Yes? Explain yourself. What were you doing during those 15 minutes?
Attorney-Zeugen. Ja, zumindest die ersten. Ich meine, in den späteren Fällen gibt es da echt harte Nüsse. Answer the question.
Oh, telephone, I mean.
Spit it out.
I was searching for a phone booth.
A phone booth? Moment mal. Die Uhr war mir nicht aufgefallen, aber da ist doch eine Telefonzelle auf dem verkackten Foto drauf. Damit kommst du mir nicht davon.
You mean you don't have a cell phone?
Lass mich raten, er hat's verloren?
You and your questions as if you're trying to open all the layers of a matryoshka doll. You must think you're really something special.
Witness.
I lost my cell phone there. Are you happy?
You lost it?
Unbelievable. You lose your glasses and your cell phone. You must be very scatterbrained when it comes to your belongings. What, are you saying that first-rate people are never allowed to lose things? Have you ever heard that a genius...
Das versuche ich jetzt gar nicht erstmal mitzulesen.
Enough.
Oh man. Wait. Hold on a second. He lost his cell phone? Ach, jetzt fällt es dir auch mal auf. Nick, that cell phone, could it be... You mean this phone Maggie found? There's no way. Boy, I didn't see this coming. What should I do now? Question further. Natürlich. Mr. Wellington, where is your cell phone right now?
What are you getting all excited about? You seem to be a little confused. I found my phone. I'll have... You know. See, here it is.
Hat er doch ein Telefon. Oh. I see.
Looks like he's got his phone. And I thought that just maybe this was his.
Well, then I think we'll clear this issue up. At the time of the murder, the witness did not have his cell phone because he had lost it. Therefore, the delay in his call was caused by his search for a phone booth. Well, that's the gist of it. I guess you could put it that way and leave it at that. Do you have any further questions, Mr. Wright?
There is something.